Welcome to the show. I'm Danella, and here's what's happening now. This week, we'll hear it for the girls in political pop, and we'll hear it for the boys in our world. Breaking gender norms. Big news this week. We'll talk about it. Also, I hate to say this. It happens 1 week every year, and it's coming up. And I'm terrified. I'll tell you exactly what has me troubled later in the show. But first, how about a little bit of cheer? We'll kick it off with political pop. Here is your political pop for Friday, August 10th. It's official. This year's midterm elections, women break records for nominations. This past Tuesday, primaries revealed that there are now 11 female nominees for governor and at least 185 for the House of Representatives. This is amazing. This November means 11 women have their eyes set on being governor. That's actually one more woman than the previous record in 1994. So congratulations to all of the candidates. I'll be watching out for you in November. I'm DanellaNOW, and that was your political pop. It's so great to see so many female nominees, especially at a time like this. You see the CEO of Pepsi step down, and now just 24 women are CEOs at Fortune 500 companies. Just 24. So we still have a long way to go. Also, big news this week. Unfortunately, a lot of people keeping their eye on the situation in California, the largest wildfire in history. And doesn't it feel as if I've had this conversation before on a previous show? The wildfires are massive. We're talking massive wildfires, devastation, and they're doing everything they can do to fight it. In fact, using coastal water to put out the fires. Praying for everyone's safety. It's crazy fires there. And here in D.C., climate change affecting us as well. So far in D.C., also Baltimore, record rain. They're saying that we've received nearly a year's worth of rain, and it's only August. And another major recall affecting my life. It might be affecting yours too. I'm not trying to be selfish, but this was shocking to me. I'm like, come on, man. Did you hear about the almond milk recall? Now, I missed this, but I'm lucky. My nanny mentioned it to me. She was like, Danella, you got to check your almond milk. So I researched this and I'm like, wait, hold the heck up. It's so much craziness going on that I didn't even see this. But Blue Diamond, okay, they're the makers of almond breeze, popular in a lot of organic markets like Mom's, Whole Foods, Well, Blue Diamond has voluntarily recalled approximately 145,254 half-gallon cartons of vanilla almond breeze almond milk because they may contain dairy milk. Apparently, affected cartons were shipped to 28 states and later recalled. Here are the states: Alabama, Arkansas, Connecticut, Florida, Georgia, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, come on, man, Maine, Michigan, Montana, Missouri, Mississippi, North Carolina, Nebraska, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, and Wisconsin. No! Who put cow dairy something in the almond milk? Apparently, it only applies to refrigerated vanilla almond breeze almond milk. So they're saying, you're not going to die, but they're just saying if you have a milk allergy, then it's unsafe to drink the almond milk. Right. So you want more information, specifically like barcodes, all that stuff, you can head over to the Blue Diamond website for a complete list of what exactly is recalled, as well as if you needed a form that you can fill out to get your money back. Now let's kick off in our world. In our world this week, we're going to hear it for the boys. That's right, the boys of NFL, not the football players. I'm talking about the new cheerleaders. For the first time ever, NFL fans will see history being made, and it goes down this season. It's big news in our country. First, we'll start in New Orleans with the New Orleans Saints, as well as LA, the Los Angeles Rams. Now, first off, congratulations to the men that, I mean, this is major for them to actually be cheerleaders. Now, let me just say, before we talk about football, let me say my history with male cheerleaders. I'm not unfamiliar with a male cheerleader, but our male cheerleaders weren't dancers. So let me say, at NYU, you wouldn't imagine there's like cheering or anything like that, or a male cheerleader. However, at NYU, I was a cheerleader. And I remember one of our cheerers was a great guy. He was so nice, super muscular, and he was from Texas, and he was a cheerleader. And so, he would come in, and I'm telling you, he was hitting those cheers, all that, like hardcore cheering. And it was great having him because especially when you wanted to do lifts and tosses and things like that, super strong, he would do it. And so for him, especially any of you guys are from Texas, different situation for a lot of people, and that is this is very masculine to be a cheerer. He would say it to us because he's like, I'm not from this area. I joined being a cheerleader so I could look up girls' skirts. And you have to literally, because if you're spotting a girl, her foot is here, and then you have to look up to make sure she's safe. And so for him, he was saying that was an easy way to make girls, as well as always being in shape. And I'm telling you, he was super strong and super heterosexual. Well, so that's on one end, these NFL cheerleaders are fighting the stigma. But as I look at the pictures, I'm like, oh, these are like real dancers, because NFL cheerleaders are more dancer cheerleaders, So they're not go toss the girl up and be caught, that kind of thing. So I was reading comments online, and I wanted to bring it up just to see what you guys think about it. Online, I saw a lot of positive as well as a lot of negative. I saw people really commending the cheerleaders as, way to go, congratulations, looking forward to seeing them this season. But then some people are just completely appalled. And I'm kind of, where am I standing on this? I'm gonna be honest. When I first saw the picture of the guy kicking, I was like, oh man, like for real, I wish I could kick like that. That's exactly how the thought process went. It was like, oh man, I wish I could kick like that. That was my first thought. And then I started thinking about it was really challenging my own norms, because I really feel that I really try in general not to ever be a judgmental type person. But I realize as I get older, I am judgmental, and I try to work on it and not be super judgmental. But, inside my heart, I feel love is love, love who you want. Right. That's exactly how I feel. But sometimes I feel like as the world is changing, it's really pushing my beliefs only because I'm seeing certain things I've never seen before, like NFL cheerleaders. Again, I've worked with cheerleader, a male cheerleader, and he was awesome. Awesome, super strong. In fact, I have a picture in which I'm standing on one leg, like, one knee's up. He's holding me by my one foot, and I never felt so safe, And then by having a man on your cheer team, I know some of you guys are like, I don't care about this cheerleading. But anyway, the men can extend their arms, from their chest. That's where most women will hold for support, but all the way, straight up. And it was awesome. It was great. We loved having him. We could do way more stuff. But he couldn't kick like that. There was no kicks. There were definitely no kicks. He could flip. Now, he was a forward flipping back, all them forward flips, tuck, roll. He was with all that stuff. But he was not doing splits. He was not doing kicks. He wasn't dancing at all. So it'll be interesting. I have to be honest. We banned football from our home. You guys know this. Haven't seen football. But I mean, even prior to the banning, protesting, before that even happened, it wasn't like I was someone that liked televised sports in general. Not really. I can go live, I'm down with live, but televised, I was like, boring. So I kind of feel like I want to watch. Now I'm torn because we're really protesting as a family, and really I gotta stand by my husband because he's an actual fan. Like, he's got hats and gear and stuff. That's when you know you're a fan. Real football fans have paraphernalia. It's not funny, but every time I say paraphernalia, it makes me think of drug paraphernalia. But anyway, real fans have paraphernalia, so I have to wait, let me get my thoughts together. Okay. So I really have to stand by my husband, because he's a fan. And if he's not watching football, then I have to stand by. It's going to be hard. But I have to, hopefully, this is what I'm hoping for. Because I don't know. I doubt it if I go to Los Angeles to watch a game, or New Orleans, or if, I doubt it. However, I'm kind of hoping they go to Super Bowl, because there's my chance. I'm all about the halftime show. Yes, do we even watch Super Bowl this year? Man, I think we protested Super Bowl, but somehow I was able to watch the halftime show. I know, fair weather. So, regardless, the reason why I wanted to bring this up this week was to really hear some feedback from you. What do you think about the new male NFL cheerleaders? This is major. This is the first time. It's never has happened before. But in other, like college, high school, you do have male cheerleaders. But I think these cheerleaders are definitely more dancing. Yes, they're still cheerleaders, dancing cheerleaders. The cheermen? No, just cheerleaders. I'm doing too much. So I'm interested to see, would that bother you? It shouldn't. I don't feel it should, but anytime there's change, people try to fight it. So let me know how you feel. You can definitely leave it in the comments, or you can email me at Danella@DanellaNOW.com and let me know. I'm just curious because this is major in our society, but isn't it about time? I feel like it, isn't it? Tell me what you think. So before we wrap up the show, I have to tell you something that's kind of plaguing me just a bit. It was just sprung on me on Monday. So it happens for 1 week every year. Going on now for the past 3 years. Mommy, alone, 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 with, baby, baby, baby. No! Yes, so my nanny is going on a vacation for a whole week, and I'm going to have my baby alone. Right. And now he's 3. Back in the day, I mean, when he was just, a little baby nursing all the time, it was no big deal. We'd be home alone all the time, snuggling together, snuggle buddy. Then when he turned 1, it happened. He was, more mobile during the break. We just did the fun things. 2 was a little more active. And now he's 3. So I know veteran parents are like, shut up, we do this all the time. But in my fairness, I've only been a parent for 3 years now. It just happened in July, 3 years. Plus, he's toddler and not in school, right? He's more homeschool with our nanny. But yeah, I won't have a break from school. I won't have any childcare outside of myself. So yeah, it's up to me to really do it up. And I'm the kind of mom that, I guess also because I waited longer to have my son, I was really in my mind I want to be ready, right? I'm trying to get all my selfishness out. before I had him. And so with that, there's this, pressure that I put on myself in a sense to really be present for him. I think that also has to do with my upbringing, single parent. Remember we talked about that teen mom situation, a lot of strife and tribulations. It was tough, it was tough. So once I became a mom, I really wanted to be able to just try my best every day to be present, meaning not just putting him in front of a TV, or letting him entertain himself. But I mean all day. Of course, him being an only child, some entertainment by himself is healthy. But I just didn't want to be that kind of mom where I'm always like pawning my child off so I can live my life in my dreams. So with that being said, my husband, like in a perfect world, our family would go on vacation while the nanny is on vacation. We're not in that world. We ain't in that world. So my husband has to work, right? So we can afford the nanny so that she can go on vacation with her family. However, he may take off at least one day. We'll see how his schedule can work out. But it just leaves mommy alone, with baby. So with that being said, I had to cancel my additional work. It's going to be a little stressful. On one end, it'll be fun because, I'm just going to take my baby to do all my families, because a lot of my family members, like my grandfather, he want to see the baby. But usually during the weekdays, because my son is being homeschooled by my nanny, I don't like to do anything, when I have the nanny. So I'm like, all them cats who are like, we want to see him. I'm doing we gonna see you tour. We gonna be in all sorts. We using all kinds of miles. We driving everywhere. You want to see him? We coming to your house. So with that being said, please excuse me. Political pops may be late. For those of you who like my political pops each week, I'm gonna try to get them out on time. But they may be late or non-existent. I'm just saying, because he only takes one nap and is later in the day. With that being said, I'm gonna try to come back and do my podcast next week. It's anybody's guess. Because, as a mom, besides yourself, you have to take care of your family. So I know everybody's still going to want to eat. I know that my husband's going to come home and my nephew and be like, where's the food? Right. So I need to be tougher, but I'm not. So yes, I'll have to balance all of that with my other projects. So I've tried to put everything else on hold. I was scheduled to do a recording. I was like, sorry, I'm unavailable. So yes, bear with me. And also, if I'm able to make it next week for the podcast, I'm trying. I don't know what this cat gonna do. He might be wild because, it's our week alone. So he might just try to run the show. So when you see me, if I look frazzled or exhausted, please do not judge me. Just pray for me. Pray for my strength. And most of all, pray for my patience. Remember, I am working to fight the cycles of abuse that I've endured and dysfunction that I've endured. I'm breaking those cycles. So pray for me as I patiently say no in like 5 different diverting ways. Mommy, weak, alone, baby. That about wraps up our show. I hope you have an incredible weekend. And God willing, I will see you next week.